And sir?
Also name attorney calendar.
What's your name, sir?
George Wilson.
George Wilson? Okay.
No attorneys contacted me.
Let me check here. Mr. Pazderka is here. He's on the screen right now. He's your attorney. Are you ready to call Mr. Wilson's case, Mr. Pazderka?
I believe so.
Okay. Mr. Wilson, would you have a seat at the table there? Okay, this is number 20 DV 617 for confirmation. We also have 20 DV 817, which is an alleged probation violation. So this screen, can I ask you, is the city of Tumwater ready to confirm for trial?
No, Your Honor, and I believe we have a proposed resolution.
Okay.
Mr. Custer.
Your Honor, I guess I've been in negotiation with Mr. Bretler, and he's been out of the office a couple of times, so we have kind of been starting and stopping, and I know that Mr. Wilson has another pending case that we're trying to basically resolve or figure out at the same time. It's my understanding, though, Mr. Wilson refused to talk to me this morning that he no longer wants my representation, but at this time, I was going to ask for a continuance based on continued negotiations.
I haven't even talked to Mr. Pazderka.
Let me hear from you, Mr. Wilson.
I didn't even talk to Mr. Pazderka. So except for one phone call, and that's it. Whoever that little dude was in here this morning, I told him I didn't want to talk to him. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Pazderka already told me he was working on something already. Mm-hmm. So why would I tell the dude I don't want to talk to this man? The last time we talked, he said he was working on a negotiation. I just wanted to know where somebody was this morning. I told that dude that was here that I've probably been in court already, been in law school, which I have.
Well, it sounds like you're not ready for trial either.
I'm just waiting on my attorney to let me know what's going on. You know, this case has been going on almost 40 years.
Yeah, well, it sounds like Mr. Pazderka.
That's what he told me last time we talked. That he was working on something.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I don't exactly know what that means other than just what he told me here. So I'm going to trust him that that's what he's doing. But I guess a fair question for both attorneys is, why aren't we ready to go to trial? Mr. Wilson's not wrong. This case has been pending for a long time. And yet another case that was charged around the same time that has already successfully gone to trial. So what's going on here?
And Your Honor, I guess my last conversation with Mr. Bretler in July, there was a potential resolution on the table, and I know that there was, I guess, one small issue, and I know that I was wanting there was some discussion about seeing what was going on in his Lacey case. I haven't had contact with Mr. Wilson to discuss those details. I don't know if I have a bad phone number, but I guess I was hoping that we could touch base before this hearing, but it's my understanding that my colleague asked him to call me, and so there might have been some miscommunication this morning. So,
oh, no, that's not, Your Honor. It's not wrong. I told him, his colleague, and the court can inject to it all they want. I don't work for the attorney. They work for me. My attorney said he was calling me back.
Okay.
So that's his job. That's what he gets paid to do. I have a job to listen to what his input is, not trace and track him down. I have things that I have to do.
Well, I'm not going to engage with that directly, but I am going to observe here, though, that, Mr. Pazderka has been representing Mr. Wilson on this particular case that I'm talking about now for confirmation since March. No, since since March 31st. And they were present in court together as early as April 12th. I guess, I'll come right out with it. I do not understand why this case wouldn't be ready for trial after that much time. It is not clear to me, based on this explanation, why this case wouldn't be ready to go to trial.
And Your Honor, I don't have any notes for the court. Not prepared. The state was not prepared to go to trial today as there was no coverage notes left. I've done as much as I can to reach out to Mr. Pazderka, but I think he was waiting for some unresolved issues out of it.
Okay, so Mr. Wilson, when was the last time you and Mr. Pazderka had a meeting or a consultation about this case?
We had one phone call.
You had one phone call?
Yeah.
When was that?
A couple months back.
Oh, but nothing since then? So the last time you were in court on this case, you and Mr. Pazderka, for a court hearing, was on May 24th, which is right around a couple of months ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. Nothing since then?
No, we talked once. He talked to the prosecutor. He told me what they said. I told him it wasn't that, and as far as I knew, he was working with him on that. We haven't talked since then.
Okay. But he got, essentially, I mean, it sounds like he said it before. He got an offer from the prosecutor. He talked to you about it. You just discussed what that was.
Yeah, he was going to go back and talk to them.
But no agreement happened.
No,
okay, and that's Mr. Pazderka's job. He's not doing anything wrong there.
No, I'm not. But I ain't talking to him. I don't know what's going on because my other lawyer, they keep saying that each lawyer in both courtrooms said they're going to communicate, him and Mr. Wrestling. Ain't nobody communicate. You know me, Your Honor. I will come in here and fire them the day of trial, and I know exactly how to do it. This part-time communication with these attorneys and not being ready to go to trial and do these things, it's not representation to me. When your attorney has no communication with you, that is not legal representation. It's not my job to call the attorney. If I was in the county jail right now facing a crime, you wouldn't tell me, Mr. Wilson, you need to call your attorney. You would tell me your attorney needs to reach out and set up a meeting. So when I'm in the free world taking care of the classes and things that the court has ordered me to do, it should not be my job to have to track down a man who gets paid to represent me.
Well, I'm going to
There's
say...
no way to it because there's case law for it.
Mr. Wilson, you're partially right. I mean, you and Mr. Pazderka mutually have to be...
No, mutual. I don't work for him. He works for me.
You can't make yourself hard to find.
I got the same number, Your Honor. He called me. He's never called me. I don't even have his number.
I believe you. All right.
He scheduled an appointment with me, didn't he?
You know what this sounds like to me is that there was a hope on the part of maybe both parties that this situation could be resolved, but it hasn't been resolved, which, Mr. Wilson's not under any obligation to accept any offers for resolution, and it kind of sounds to me like he doesn't want to. I
was fine. We came to a mutual resolution. I told him exactly what it was, what it is. You know what I'm saying? This is the point of it, Your Honor, is I'm going through this for 4.5 years. Whatever happened in this case, I'm almost completely done with DV treatment. I'm almost completely done with everything the court is going to stipulate if it was to go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Everything. I'm disabled. I'm not going to the county jail because my health is too bad. They don't have medical procedures for that. I'm doing what the court is asking me. I want to get it resolved. The other case, like you said, has been resolved. Mm-hmm. I asked the day when I fired Mr. Sweeney. That day, I wanted to get this resolved. Remember that?
I do.
I come in here every time. It's not been Mr. Wilson not trying to communicate with attorneys because they come in here every time and tell you there's a reason why they're not communicating with me. Not that they've picked up the phone and called. You're not hearing them say that, Your Honor.
Right. So, Mr. Pazderka, in your view, what should happen next?
Your Honor, if the court is not inclined to grant a continuance, I guess I would be reaching out to the prosecuting office to see if we can't get a resolution by next week.
All right, I guess same question, Ms. Green. I don't mean to focus all of this on Mr. Pazderka. It is also not clear to me why the prosecutor's office wouldn't be ready to take this case to trial either.
Yes, Your Honor, I don't have information for the court other than subpoenas haven't been sent out on this case prior to this week. I have attempted to reach out to Mr. Pazderka. I think we were trying to work out something. I don't have notes. Mr. Butler has been covering this case, but I can reach out to Mr. Pazderka right now to see if we can come up with something.
All right. Okay. I'm not going to grant a continuance here. I don't think Mr. Wilson wants a continuance, and I don't think that one is merited here for good cause based on any explanations I've heard from either attorney. So I'm going to leave this case set on for trial, which is set to commence on the 14th. And if there is a resolution, I mean, if the short time that we have here puts you in the position to resolve the case, then absolutely feel free to do that. Just, let the court know that that's what you intend to do if it's not trial. But otherwise, going to mark this down as trial on August 14th as scheduled.
I sure hope, Your Honor, that we can get this resolved. I want to get it resolved, but as you know, I'm not going for part-time representation.
Yeah. No, Mr. Wilson, you're entitled to have your trial. If there's an acceptable resolution between you and the prosecutor, you're entitled to that as well. Stay in touch with Mr. Pazdurka, and we will see you here on 9 o'clock in the morning on the 14th. Okay?